2013 was a testing year for the Royal Navy on the Rock. Ably led by Captain Rob Garner, the crew on board HMS Scimitar is tasked with heading out to sea to deal with the incursions by the Guardia Civil and other Spanish state vessels.
2013 has been a really busy year out in British Gibraltar Territorial Waters. We've had nearly 500 illegal incursions by foreign government vessels, so more than one a day, and on many days actually we've had 4 or 5 of them. The process normally, our colleagues up at Windy Hill Signal Station, they're normally the first guys to spot a foreign government vessel inside BGTWs. They phone the GDCO, so either myself or one of my fellow COs, and on the basis of what they tell us, the information they give about what the vessel is up to, we decide what the squadron's response is going to be. If it's illegal, if the actions being carried out in British Gibraltar Territorial Waters are illegal, then RNGS does respond. And I'm pleased to say the majority of those, the vast majority of those nearly 500 illegal incursions we have responded to. Now the way we man the squadron appropriate to that level of that tempo of operations. Between the hours of sunrise and sunset, our rib is at very short notice to sail, and if I need the rib to go on the water, then it will be literally within minutes. Likewise, the patrol boats, either Scimitar or Sabre, whichever one is the duty patrol boat, they can be at sea daytime, normally within half an hour, and even at night time we can get to sea within 1 hour. And that's why people in Gibraltar, occasionally you'll see members of the squadron driving from either DTC or Rook or from Europa into squadron at all hours of the day because we've had a call and we need to get on the water.
Across the world, 365 days a year, the Royal Navy is tasked with protecting Britain's interests. Gibraltar is no different.
So working at Royal Navy Gibraltar Squadron at the moment, we've got 26 people, and of those 26, 19 are regular Royal Navy. We've got 4 Royal Navy reservists, and we've also got 3 Royal Marines. And the experience they bring goes right across the whole spectrum of what the Royal Navy does. We've got people who are experienced in frigate and destroyer operations, people who have worked on aircraft carriers, on the Antarctic survey ship down in the South Atlantic, and 2 of our Royal Marines have also got combat experience in Afghanistan, so a huge raft of experience. Both myself and my XO, Chief Boat Officer Danny Toms, we have spent time in our careers off Somalia, hunting pirates out there. I was there 4 years ago in HMS Portland, and at one point when I was out there in Portland, we actually captured pirates, and we had pirates on board the ship who we'd captured and prevented from conducting more piracy against shipping off the Somali coast.
International piracy is a massive thing, especially off the African coast. I was down there on one of our frigates. My last one was 2 years ago. I was on one of the frigates, acting within a multinational task force. It's needs one haystack job really, because it's massive open ocean. Pirates are very small, very organised. Okay, they'll pick their targets and they'll attack very quickly.
We sometimes hear, unfavourable comments from Spanish quarters about Gibraltarians and the Navy perhaps being pirates because these allegedly are Spanish waters. What do you say to that?
Well, look on our IMO approved chart, we're inside British Gibraltar Territorial Waters, and if there's one organisation who operate here who are professional, it is the Royal Navy, and our friends in the GDP and the RGP as well.
In late October, following dangerous manoeuvres by the Guardia Civil, the Royal Navy was involved in an armed standoff in the waters around the Rock.
General purpose machine gun, we carry 2 of them, 7.62mm calibre. It's the standard light machine gun across the British Armed Forces, used extensively by the British Army and the Royal Marines in Afghanistan. Used also by the Fleet Arm and the Royal Air Force as operated from helicopters, and used in virtually every Royal Navy and Royal Fleet auxiliary ship in the fleet.
I joined up in 2007 September, done 10 months of training, joined my first ship and went on several different deployments. Came out here in October 2012, been out here now for 13 months. I'm out here now until October.
You sort of adapt and overcome to each job that you do. You're just taking parts of it and then applying it where need be.
Okay, and on board HMS Scimitar, what's your role?
Navigation, which means I just sort out the radar and make sure the navigation charts are up to date, as well as all the lines, etc., the anchoring. As well as that, I also do gunnery in conjunction with AB Gerald, and as well as firefighting and first aid.
On HMS Scimitar, I am the gunnery officer, so I maintain, clean the GPMGs, the SAEs, also do all the preps for when we do it, shooting as well.
Normally, once a month or so, we go out into international waters to the east of British Gibraltar Territorial Waters and conduct gunnery against a target, just to make sure we keep all the guys up to speed with all their firing procedures.
And the targets would just be like a buoy, or?
Yeah, it'll be a pallet with a buoy and a flag on, and we'll go past them at different ranges to really put the guys through their paces.
My main job is a weapons instructor. I'm here to man the weapons if required, mainly for self-protection. But obviously we have an armed deterrent on board the boats. I've been in the Gibraltar Squadron for nearly 18 months now. I've got a year to run, and then I'll go back to my normal job on a frigate.
This is Gibraltar Navy Ops. You are within the British Gibraltar Territorial Waters, and I consider you to be violating UNCLOS Article 19, governing the right of innocent passage.
With hundreds and hundreds of illegal incursions to deal with, this Royal Navy team has to keep calm under difficult circumstances.
Normally, when Scimitar and Sabre at sea, people who see us at sea will notice that our weapons are covered. Routinely, when we're patrolling around British Gibraltar Territorial Waters, our general purpose machine guns are covered. The only time normally that we uncover our weapons is when we go out to escort in a larger Royal Navy ship or submarine when they come and visit Gibraltar. So when HMS Bulwark visited, anyone who saw, it was HMS Sabre who was out, and she uncovered her guns as part of our normal protocol when we do escort larger vessels when they're visiting Gibraltar.
Okay, we keep them covered most of the time when we're on patrol. So yes, they are loaded, ready to go. Okay, and the crew are literally less than a minute's notice to man and wearing body armour, etc. They don't really want to talk about ranges and capabilities, etc. Okay, but anyone can look on the internet and look at a general purpose machine gun, all pretty much the same, really. Okay, so we're still armed and we are ready to go, but fully aware that obviously, you know, we are operating off Gibraltar, very close with NATO allies, just across the border. But be under no doubt, you know, we will defend ourselves if required.
What's the atmosphere like out at sea among your staff when there is an incursion?
Of course I'll say this, but I think it's cool, calm efficiency. The guys, everyone here, we're so swept up on our responses to incursions now. We know what we need to do, and we go about doing that. We know that when we're on the water, we provide, you know, a cool head, and we're out there to gather information, to gather evidence, and to be that very firm, definite Royal Navy presence on the water.
And how important is protocol and sticking to the plan in a potentially volatile situation like that?
It's absolutely vital. You know, I work to very strict rules of engagement, and you know, I don't see them as limitations. I see them as enabling me to do what I need to do, but making sure at all times I know that what I'm doing is legal, and that I'm doing that my superiors know exactly what I'm going to do as well. So it gives me a wide freedom of action inside BTWs, but at all times I know exactly what I need to be doing to deal with any illegal incursion that's happening. When I'm out on the water, I'm in direct communication with Commodore Clink, Commander British Forces, and I'm also in direct communication with our colleagues up at Windy Hill, and also the rest of the headquarters staff in the tower as well.
We've seen out at sea today, Lieutenant Garner, some very nice camaraderie. We've shared a cup of tea and a mince pie, which was delicious. But more to the point, we've seen that there's a very professional relationship among you guys, but you also get along very well. How important is that?
That is absolutely crucial. And we say it in the Navy, every ship's the same, but I think even more so on very small units like this, you know, you are physically that much closer together. You have to get on. You know, and when, you know, at quieter times, yes, you know, we make sure we have a laugh. We've got to. But, you know, when the situation demands, you know, the focus completely is on the task in hand.
Everyone will be hoping for a reduced number of incursions in 2014 compared to the almost 500 the Navy dealt with in Gibraltar waters in the past 12 months. But as and when they do arise, the Gibraltar Squadron will go about their business, carefully plotting a course between making their presence felt and not escalating potentially volatile situations at sea.